You know, sometimes when I sit with my patients, especially those who are a little older, I notice this quiet look in their eyes. It's a look I've come to recognize over many years. A mix of frustration, worry, and something else too. Maybe even a bit of sadness. And it often comes up when we start talking about walking. I'll hear them say things like, "I used to walk every day, doc. I loved it. Now, it just doesn't feel the same." Or, "I try, but it's harder now. I get tired, or my legs just don't feel steady anymore." And they'll pause, sometimes staring out the window, almost like they're mourning. The simple joy of being able to move freely. Now, if you've ever felt that way, I want you to know, you're not alone. You're not weak. You're not broken. And what I'm about to share with you, well, it might just change how you look at walking from now on. Because, you see, there are certain health conditions, ones I've seen time and time again, that slowly, quietly make walking harder for older adults. And many people, they don't even realize it's happening. Until one day, they feel like their body isn't cooperating anymore. I've seen this mistake so many times. Good, hard-working people blaming themselves, thinking they're just getting old. But if I could sit down with every person over 60 in this country, every mother, every grandfather, every neighbor, I would gently take their hand, look them in the eye, and tell them this truth. Walking less easily isn't always just about age. There are hidden causes. And once you know them, you can take back some control. Let me tell you about one of the most common reasons walking becomes harder as we age. Diabetes. Oh, I've seen it in so many folks. And it sneaks up slowly. I had a patient, Harold, a retired truck driver from Kansas, salt of the earth, that man. He came to me one day and said, "Doc, my feet feel strange. Numb sometimes. Tingly. And when I walk, it's like I can't trust my steps anymore." And I could see it in his face. Fear, worry, diabetes, especially when it's been around for a few years, can damage the nerves in your feet and legs. That's called diabetic neuropathy. It makes walking feel awkward, unsteady, and sometimes even painful. But here's what most people don't realize. Many folks with diabetes don't even know they have it. Or they think their blood sugar isn't too bad, so they ignore the little warning signs. And this is where it all starts to go wrong. Because ignoring these symptoms lets the nerve damage quietly spread. But when Harold and I caught it, we got to work. He started managing his blood sugar more carefully. We worked with a specialist on balance therapy. And I'll never forget the day he came back to me, smiling, and said, "Doc, I walked around the block again, and it felt good. My friend, if you have diabetes or even borderline blood sugar issues, please talk to your doctor. Don't wait. The sooner you act, the better your chances of keeping your feet steady and strong." Now, another common, cause I see, arthritis. And oh, it's more common than most people realize. There's a woman I think about often. Eleanor from Tennessee. 80 years old, sharp as a tack, always kept her garden blooming beautifully. But one spring, she told me, "I can't bend my knees the way I used to. Walking around my garden, it hurts." Arthritis, especially in the knees and hips, can make every step feel like a struggle. And this is where so many people get discouraged. Because the more it hurts, the less they move. And the less they move, the weaker the muscles get. And the worse the walking becomes. It's a heartbreaking cycle. But here's what most folks don't realize. Not moving actually speeds up the stiffness. Motion is lotion for those joints. Eleanor and I started with something simple: chair. Exercises, easy stretches, warm compresses in the morning before she walked. And she made it a little ritual. Tea, Warm compress, gentle stretches. It wasn't a miracle overnight. But week by week, she started walking through her garden. Again, proudly showing me photos of her flowers. If you're dealing with arthritis, don't give up on your body. Start small. But start, then there's something I've seen far too often, heart conditions. Sometimes walking doesn't just feel hard, it makes you breathless. I remember John, a Vietnam veteran from Ohio. Tough man, but when he came to see me, I could see he was scared. He said, "Doc, I get winded just walking to the mailbox." Heart disease can sneak up on folks this way. It's not always chest pain. Sometimes it's fatigue, breathlessness, swollen legs. Many people think, "Oh, I'm just out of shape," but this is where it all starts to go wrong. Because pushing through it without knowing the cause can be dangerous. John had early heart failure, but we caught it in time. Medications, dietary changes, light walking under supervision. Slowly, he gained back his strength. And I'll tell you, the day he walked his granddaughter down the aisle, he sent me a photo. If you find yourself out of breath doing things that used to be easy, please get checked. It's not weakness. It could be your heart asking for help. And then there's something even more silent, balance disorders. Oh, I wish more folks knew about this one. I remember Margaret from Florida, 72 years old, always the life of the party. But she came to me, eyes wide with worry, saying, "I feel like the floor moves under me sometimes, like I'm on a boat." It turned out she had a vestibular disorder, something affecting the inner ear and balance. And this is where it all starts to go wrong. People start avoiding walking because they fear falling. But avoiding it only makes the body lose more balance and strength. Margaret worked with a vestibular therapist. We added in some vitamin D2 after checking her levels. Slowly, she began to regain confidence. She even went back to her weekly dance class with a sparkle in her eyes. If you feel dizzy or off balance, don't brush it off as just old age. Balance can be treated, trained, and improved. And lastly, something most people wouldn't guess, depression. Yes, even sadness itself can change how we walk. I'll never forget James, a widower from Texas, quiet and kind. He told me, "Doc, I just don't feel like going outside anymore." His steps had grown slower, his posture stooped. Depression can sap energy, change body posture, and even slow down our walking speed. And this is where it all starts to go wrong. Because the less we move, the deeper the depression can become. But when we finally talked, really talked, and he started therapy, along with a gentle walking routine, just 5 minutes at first, his spark slowly returned. He even joined a local walking group for seniors. If you feel this heaviness, please don't face it alone. Depression is not a weakness, it's a medical condition, and there is help. Now, I know that was a lot to take in, but I want you to hear me clearly. You're not too late. You're not forgotten. You still matter deeply. Whether you face diabetes, arthritis, heart issues, balance troubles, or even sadness, your body still holds so much strength inside it. It's never too late to take one more step toward hope, healing, and a fuller life. And I want to leave you with this gentle question. Which one of these spoke to you the most? Which one made you think of yourself, or maybe someone you love? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one, and I'd love to hear your story. And if this video brought you comfort or helped you understand something important, please share it with someone you care about. Subscribe for more conversations like this, and follow, because we're just getting started. And I'd love to keep walking this path with you. Share, subscribe, and follow for more.